If you come in 2021 and you fail to make full payment, say you want to get into a payment plan, you don't have all the money, and you want it to be spread over the 3-year period, still the remissions apply. If whatever is paid for in 2021 is what will qualify for the 100%.
But I did hear you saying we can discuss spreading it over time.
Yes.
Mumesikia?
There is that avenue.
KRA is not in the business of bankrupting you. Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I have very important conversations here. Conversations that other people have to tell you about because you were not here. I want to have a conversation about something that you saw on Twitter. You probably saw it, you know, in all sorts of places, and then what you did is you leaned back away from it. You're like, wacha. And that conversation is the Voluntary Tax Disclosure Program. And to take us through that is Linda Kanari. Please allow me to introduce her. She's a tax expert, policy and tax advisory at KRA. Yeah. So everybody deserves a second chance. Heaven knows we're always hoping to get a second chance.
Yes.
And then one day, Carrie turns around and tells us, here's the second chance. And we all say, no. We're like, jive, never, Karegani.
Are we serious?
Yes. So you got to tell me, where did even the idea come from before you tell me what it is? Yeah?
So as you've rightly put it, it's voluntary. And what we're saying is we've had people in business, we've had guys engaging in one activity or another and earning income from this. And for one reason or another, the person may not have complied with the tax regulations, maybe didn't have the information.
Yes.
I mean, now we have this platform, so the reach is wider and we're getting to get to more people, get to know about taxes. So it's an opportunity being given to guys who've been in business, you've been earning income, but you've not declared this income, you've not paid any taxes on this income.
Yes.
And it's a lifeline. It's, you know, come on board, come, let's pay the taxes, come join the rest of, you know, the Kenyans and everyone else who's paying taxes so that we can build our country. So we're recognizing that there's a lot that is in circulation and that has not been brought into the tax net. And as I said, it's maybe lack of information or the fear, you know, as you're saying.
It's fear, but I also think
fear.
There's a little bit of also ignorance, and then like, taxes can feel so tiring. Bookkeeping, first and foremost, you know, as Kenyans, we hate paperwork, eh?
Yes.
No.
Do you find it complicated?
No, we just hate paperwork of any kind. I remember ages ago, I opened an account, I can't remember which bank it was, and they came to the office and they had a cell phone and they took the picture and their opening papers were one sheet. And you're like, wow. Because even when you think you love a bank, you're like, I can't. Yes. We hate paperwork.
Yeah.
James Mwangi, Dr. James Mwangi once made me laugh. He told me the reason he has more people asking for loans on a phone than they do by going to the bank is that there are people who say, alafu tuchore map ya kwetu. So we hate paperwork.
Yes.
And taxes sounds like paperwork and pain. And I know this because I did a Centonomy course, and we do all that stuff, how to make money, and then, you know, you're thinking, we even do insurance, we even do, you know, legacy planning. Hey, but when it comes to taxes, and remember, we're being taught how to create wealth.
Yes. But I mean, how do you keep track of anything? You're running your business, how do you know you're making profits?
That is you.
So the records are not for KRA purposes.
They're also ours.
Yes.
Yes.
So we are saying, let's work together, you know. So you've made your money, I mean, pay your fair share of taxes. I think that's even biblical, if I'm not wrong. You pay to Caesar what belongs to Caesar.
True.
Yes. And we can't be beggars. You know, the best thing about paying taxes is we become self-reliant as a country.
As a country, yes.
Yes, and we avoid unnecessary debt and going to borrow where we have the money within us. It's how do we join hands and bring it together so that we can build a nation? And as you've said, it could be that I think it's historical, just to have that fear, or just to avoid keeping records. Maybe you don't want to be traced, or you don't want your income to be traced. But you know,
and you can correct me.
Yes.
We no longer live in a world where you can actually be incognito.
Yes. That is very true.
We no longer live in that world.
Not in this era. I mean, transactions are being done online. You know, payments are being done through the mobile platforms,
portals.
Exactly. We are having tills and pay bills, and you can't just you know, exist in isolation and and not participate in building of your country. I think it's a bit selfish, because whatever income that you make, irrespective of what you do,
you made it.
Exactly. I mean, we have hospitals that you go to, we have roads that you're using, there's infrastructure that the government has put in place, there's electricity and all that. Where does this come from? The government has to be financed by our taxes, unless we borrow.
There's a way I like to put it, and you can't in your space say it, so I need to say it for you. Every time you're told such and such is being given to you free, and such is given to you, if you can't figure out who's paying for it, you are. Let me say that again. If you can't tell who's paying for it, you are. So you might as well pay knowing you're paying for it. Because I've never been a freebie person anyway. Okay? So I'm going to go back to some of my business classes and my groups and my friends. Okay? You're doing business, yes. You do flower arrangement, you have an eventing business, you have whatever it is. But bookkeeping is taxes is
no,
it's just that one of, you know, you think about it, you break out into a sweat.
Too much work.
It's too much work, and I'm hoping that is a spirit from which KRA is coming from. You understand that we would love to, but we have no clue. 3 years into event planning for weddings, where to start? So are you talking to us? We who are sitting there thinking, I started a biashara. And to be honest, as we say, God has been good. Yes. But if you ask me, taxes, we're like, ay, mbono na choma.
Sinililipa VAT, you know.
This is also true.
I understand where you're coming from, Carol.
And how does that conversation go? So my name is Sally. Sally has been in business probably 4 years now. She does, like most of us, there's the eventing business, but she's got catering on the side, and she's got a little real estate as well. Okay. So I am like, okay, niliona ile interview na Caroline, nimekuja. So please consult.
Let's advise Sally.
Please.
So Sally has maybe an event business and has rentals and is receiving some rental income.
Yes.
But has over the years not paid taxes on this income for one reason or another. Let's just
or even file the returns. Because I hear sometimes, the problem is we pay, but we've never done the paperwork.
Or we file nil returns and we actually, you know, transacted. We did business.
The people who file nil returns.
Because it's self-assessment error. Let's be honest, guys.
Okay, so that's what she's been doing.
Yes.
So she presents herself and says, here
I am. So the period has been given. It's a 5-year period. So we are looking at whatever income that you've earned prior to June of 2020. So that means from July of 2015. Yes.
Yeah, so if you're before that,
yes, yes. But now for Sally's case, then should be looking at her income between July of 2015 and June of 2020. And we are saying that rental income that you made, disclose this income. And you're disclosing what we don't know, as in what the commissioner does not know.
Okay.
Yes.
Because kuna vitu commissioner
tunajua.
Yes.
Ama like you already picked for an audit because of something you had not disclosed.
Okay.
This is not new information that you're bringing forth. Already it has come to the knowledge of the commissioner. But in Sally's case, you're coming on a clean slate. You're coming and saying this has been my income over the years.
Yes.
And I would like to come clean on it and pay whatever taxes are due. So what the commissioner is saying is, fine, come on board. We are open. Disclose this income. And when you disclose, you know, when you're paying something late, there's the aspect of penalties,
yes,
and interest. And you can imagine what has accrued since then.
It has been 5 years. Yes.
Yes.
Or it has been 3 or 2 or whatever it is. Yes.
And so it has to be a win-win kind of a situation. Come disclose your income, pay what we call a principal tax.
Okay.
Yes, what you ought to have paid if you had disclosed this income in good time.
Yeah, right.
And the commissioner is saying for the penalties and interest that will come out of this, then we are willing to forgive 100%, but there's a condition,
Which
that you do that in the first year of this program.
oh,
Yes.
and you started
2021.
January.
This year, yes.
so long as Sally,
Yes.
Duncan, whoever they are, comes to you within the first year, 100% of penalties and interest.
Disclose,
pay your principal, and we're done.
Yes, 100% remission.
Wow.
Yes. Now the program runs for 3 years.
Okay.
It runs to December 2023. So we're saying you have a 3-year period to come clean.
Okay.
But don't take too long, because if you come in 2022, then you will not be forgiven 100%. See, the treatment is not the same for someone who's disclosed in 2021.
Yes.
Yeah, so you only get 50% forgiveness on your penalties and interest. So you'll pay the principal tax.
And the penalty?
And penalties and
50% of the
interest.
penalty, 50% of the interest.
Yes.
So what happens in 2023?
2023 again. I mean, I should have come a bit earlier, but
Tulikuambia.
you know the window has been open. So it goes lower. So the commissioner only extends 25%.
In the third year?
Yes, in the third year. So you pay your principal and 75% of the penalties and interest.
I need to ask you this, and then I'm
Yes.
going to let this percolate, because you know how Kenyans are. They'll start telling me, "Sasa Karo, msichana." Okay.
Tuanze pole pole.
What is the because there are people who will be sitting there saying, Carrie's on a fishing expedition. This is how they're going to catch me. Sometimes I don't have to tell my friends, Carrie knows. Carrie knows. Wanakuona, walikuona zamani tu. They're hoping you will come before they come for you. Okay?
True.
But I'm sure even for me, there is value in having my house in order. And I think sometimes, and I see this, okay, let me speak as an individual, because I meet people who are like, you know, I'm like, Kwanza, that, do you know there are people who will not do any work with me if I can't give them my TCC?
Yes.
At all.
I wish the whole business world would work like that.
I mean, the people who will not, I'll say this openly, Safaricom will not do any work with me if I don't have a TCC. There are international organizations who will not work with me. I can't sit on boards without a TCC. So I file my tax returns because it is for me. I mean, I'd like to say that I also want to enjoy good roads with you guys, but really I have to make money. And there are people who will not do work with me if I can't give them a TCC, tax compliance certificate, and it's annual. Yeah. So why should I get my house in order, especially my business house in order? Selfishly, not even thinking about good roads, infrastructure. Yes, and never getting a call from KRA.
Selfishly. Okay. The first reason why we should pay taxes, it's compulsory.
It is.
It's the law of the land that we need to pay our taxes.
Do you really need to be in the dock for this? I always ask people, really, of all the things that I want to deal with, it's not this one.
It is one of those things that they say you will have to go through in life. It's either you pay taxes or you die.
Yes.
You know, just as you've said, Carol, there are businesses you can't get unless you have, you know, your books are clean with KRA.
Yes.
And you will not get tenders, for example, if you don't have a valid tax compliance. And you'll always have have to look over your shoulder. Consistently. You know, will KRA catch up with me on this matter? And in the process, you're not able also to engage even getting government opportunities, because government also works with tax compliant taxpayers.
Yes.
So my advice to taxpayers would be to take advantage of this, where the commissioner says come and disclose what you're going to disclose, pay what is due and payable, then clean your books, go ahead and do business without constantly looking over your shoulder. And another thing, it would be such an inconvenience once this information comes to the knowledge of the commissioner, while there was a chance to to repent,
to handle it yourself.
You know, yes.
Yeah.
So the opportunity is there, and it does not mean that Kanari will not do its job. We continue to carry out our compliance checks, our audits, and with business transactions, it becomes very difficult just to do your transactions and assume you're in isolation, because in one way or another this resurfaces. It becomes very expensive for the taxpayer.
It does.
Yes, because it will involve going back and checking the records and, you know, reconciling all that, and inconveniences the taxpayer in terms of, we call for records, and if we start asking for records 5 years backwards, 4 years backwards, you need to kind of use your energies in your business rather than running around looking for past records to clean up your
books.
Yeah, your books.
Yes.
So take
advantage of
this moment, or this time that has been given by the commissioner.
Is this also an opportunity to be able to know? Because I'm one of those people who really truly believes, I mean, there could be a lot more tax education. Is by coming forward and, you know, being part of the voluntary tax disclosure program, can I also be told what needs to be done? Because I can only speak for women in business, and the women I know who, and as women in business, you know, we're always looking for information. So there's a seminar, there's a webinar, we're there, and I've realized that we've been told, how do you put together your business plan? How do you put together something to pitch for money? How do you do this so that the bank can listen to you? Nobody tells us how to keep our books. And by the time you start, you lose hair.
Yes.
No, you do.
Yes.
So you're saying, let's use our energies, because I think there's two things in the world that can make you lose sleep and make you lose weight. I think the first one is Kanari. I'm sorry. Because when they tell you kukoivi, I have been in a situation where a friend has called me and told me and asked me for a certain lawyer's number, and I'm like, why? Our accounts have been seized.
But Carol, by the time your accounts
have been seized, it's too late.
Has tried and tried and tried. Then that means that this is just a troublesome person.
You don't want to be that person.
And the doors are open at our stations, at Huduma centers, walk and find this information. Actually, visit our website. Listen to such, programs that educate the taxpayer on what they need to do. So
that's my opening right there. Can I say this on this very video? Because you know that I will print it and I'll put it. Ask the questions you're afraid to ask Kanari in person, and I promise you I will pick them, because I can tell, like everybody else, everybody's like, this is an opportunity.
Yes.
But you know that thing of what anishika. No, so I think right there where you said that was the opportunity to say, okay, you don't want to present yourself in person? Ask here.
Yes.
Ask here.
Ask.
And she'll come back with the answers. That way you can say nimekuja, and you can go and land with your 3-box files and say, this is where we are. I didn't know in the past.
Yes.
Tell me.
Yes.
Yes.
I am disclosing.
I'm disclosing Biashara has gone like this for the last 3 years.
What do I do?
That is an option.
Yeah.
You will actually, so I can say, look, I'm not going to complicate this. Here's my books.
Exactly.
What do I do?
It's voluntary. These are my books. This is what I have transacted. What is the amount of tax that is due to
Because
Kanari?
I know you're not going to penalize me.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, as I have
Only
said,
in the first year.
yes, you get 100%. So come, 2021.
Okay, come.
Yes.
And if you're still sitting on the edge of the seat like, I don't trust her, but she has a nice smile, just ask the question here. Type up. I'll send them. And Linda will come back and answer them.
Yes.
There's no actually hidden motive.
There's no hidden motive.
But I want to be the first person to say, they're not on a fishing expedition. They know all of us. We have PIN numbers.
And one thing I'd encourage someone, Caro, is just be honest. because we have heard of situations where the window is open and we're coming, allowing you to, you come on a clean slate, let's start over, but someone decides, I'll disclose this and not disclose this, but you see, you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Yes.
So right now, there's that period.
That's important. Don't say, I'm going to tell them this one, but not this one.
Not this one.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So just come clean, disclose what you need to disclose, and the provisions are there in law. So we shall not violate what you have voluntarily disclosed. Exactly.
Oh, that's an important line. The provision is there in law. So you're protected.
Yes.
Yes.
Let them feel comfortable. Let them disclose, pay, let's move forward.
And the sooner we do it, the better.
The better.
2021 is the year to do it. Why wait for 2022 and you only get forgiven 50%?
Then you'll complain.
And then you'll be like, pana, watu bwana wamenigonga. That's how we talk.
Although there's one thing I need to mention, Carol. If you come in 2021 and you fail to make full payment, say you want to get into a payment plan, you don't have all the money, and you want it to be spread over the 3-year period, still the remissions apply. If whatever is paid for in 2021 is what will qualify for the 100%.
But I did hear you saying we can discuss spreading it over time.
Yes.
Mumesikia?
There is that avenue.
KRA is not in the business of bankrupting you. I've always said, and especially if you run a business, when 30% is, that's a shareholder. KRA is a shareholder in my business. That means they're very interested in me making money.
Yeah.
No, you are.
Yes, we would want you to do well.
We want you to, because otherwise what would I pay you?
Exactly. Yes. We want your business to thrive. So, we're not shareholders, but
anybody who takes 30%.
Key stakeholders.
He's a key stakeholder in my business.
That's true.
But I'll leave it at that because I would like to get myself a coffee and ask you a very difficult question in our next video. It's called minimum tax. Wow. Articles have been written.
I know.
Debate has been had.
It is unfair.
I know.
If guys had a chance to throw stones, I know they would throw stones. But let's demystify it and take it slowly.
Okay.
Yes. Hopefully, by the time we end the conversation, then
everybody will get it.
Yes.
Okay. So go call your friends and tell them the next video is on minimum tax. I'm gonna get me some more water. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.